Dr. Miller-Meeks, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much. I really want to thank Chairman Bost for having this extraordinarily important hearing. This is something that we hear about. And as a 24-year Army veteran who left the service, and to your point, Ms. Burgess, I actually left to pursue education, to go to medical school, so I had hope that there was a career pathway for me outside of the military. I think how we help assist active duty to go into the veteran space or into civilian life is extraordinarily important. There's a ton of questions I would love to ask, but I now have 4 minutes and 27 seconds. Mr. Gupta, the recently congressionally mandated report showed that 52% of veterans met the mandated 360-day timelines for TAP. Do you think service members would be more prepared for transition if there was accountability to actually get service members to TAP on time?
Thank you for the question. The accountability translates in our mind is towards awareness and the benefits and education. It's not just a matter of just a class, one class and you're done. It's more of engagement and early enrollment, and also outreach to the local community in terms of being readiness to accept that volume of veterans coming in. So it's a two-way street and has to be coordinated appropriately.
Yeah, and our Governor Branstad did that with an initiative called Homestead Iowa. So we have communities all throughout that prepare to receive veterans and veteran spouses. In your testimony, you mentioned that combining technology integration into the TAP program to leverage VA systems would be beneficial. Can you elaborate on how this would practically work?
Through the transition, the biggest challenge is adaptation and education and acceptance. And through technology, not only veterans who can be made aware of social services and community events or any kind of campaigns going on, but it's also important for the community to be aware of the veteran skill set coming in, the hardships they've gone through, and how do we translate a military life to a civilian life. So that partnership really helps.
I'm going to follow up on that with Mr. Dickman. With over 100,000 successful hires, how does Hire Heroes USA, what do you do to find opportunities for veterans and help them stay employed? And do you track attrition rates?
Thank you for the question, Congresswoman. And actually, probably as we're speaking today, we'll pass 110,000 unique service members and military spouses put into work through our program. The way we work on that is through a one-on-one personalized care model where a member of our staff is both their coach, their guide, and at times the uncomfortable truth teller that a service member might need to hear about how do they need to leverage their skills and apply in their job search. Running behind them in the back end that the veteran may or may not be aware of is a complicated series of both searches, placement activity, and employer engagement systems that are aligning that skill, experience, so that we're running searches in the background based on the experience and data that we have. We also then tap into forward-facing and more active searches, so webinars and engagements directly with employers, so they can build that connective tissue. We do track attrition, and we have seen that when placed well, veterans stay longer at employers and are promoted faster. But it's that first role that tends to be the most critical. The challenge point that we see is, especially with long delay in seeking services and support, is that often veterans have to make a choice of getting a job now versus finding that right job where their skills are going to be put to the best use.
Mentioning that nonprofits currently bear a lot of the burden of assisting veterans and transitioning service members. Mr. Loomis, the veteran post-transition outcome data is lacking and is one of the main reasons it's been so hard to get government agencies to prioritize TAP. How can TurboVets help fill this gap?
The priority, thank you, Congresswoman, for the question. The priority really comes down to the collaboration, and the first time we're really driving the idea that the DoD and the VA need to be working together and to integrate this new technology. There's no way that, historically, it's always been a very siloed approach where one owned one version or phase of it and then another agency owned the next phase, and that disconnection really the veteran or the service member would feel the most. And so our collaboration of working with the Secretary of Defense's office as well as the Secretary of VA's office, more specifically to focus on that integration of being able to connect their data of what the DoD has for the service member integrating that into the job market, and then integrating that also into the veteran status role model. And our approach is getting the veteran to sign up for VA benefits automatically with our product. So whether we can get the law and the acts passed and the policy endorsed in order to make that happen, we're doing it for them because we want to get the veterans.
That's an excellent point. My time's expired and I yield back.